Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Mattik from CharisMATTIK TV. And I'd like to welcome you all to the month of October, where we acknowledge breast cancer, which for me hits home because my mom and my closest aunt were both diagnosed about 8 months apart when I was around 15 years old. And by the grace of God, they are both currently in remission and going strong. And I also have other family members that have beaten it as well. So I want to acknowledge them. And I also want to acknowledge those who lost their lives to breast cancer, which is equally as important. So we certainly don't want to leave those out. Today I want to talk about, on this edition of Habits of Mattik, is pick up the phone and call. It sounds simple and easy. It should be simple and easy, but most people have gotten away from it. Things like texting and DMing, or as a lot of people like to call it, inboxing, has gotten to where it is severely overused. It was not intended for you to hold entire conversations or get to know someone or to make certain reservations. It was intended to reach out to someone to say something quick when you couldn't necessarily talk at the time. We've taken it overboard. If you got a problem with someone, or if you just want to have a discussion, or if you heard something about someone, just pick up the phone and call. If you know them and you have their number, just pick up the phone and call. It's not for Facebook. If you know a person, just pick up the phone and call. Most issues or problems can be resolved with just a simple conversation, but it starts with picking up the phone and calling. We've made that so difficult to do. Sometimes it can be a relative. Actually, a lot of times, or most of the times, it is a relative. It could be someone that lives right up the road or right around the corner. And people will still get on Facebook and make an entire post about it, or text each other about it. Texting is words. So words can be taken out of context when you see them. But if you're actually talking on the phone, you get a feel for it, or you get a better understanding of what is being said instead of just taking it how you want to take it, or taking it the wrong way a lot of times just because of how you're feeling, what is going on at the time. Just pick up the phone and call. If you know the person, like I said, just pick up the phone and call. Especially the adults. I mean, I always say kids are watching us. They're going to do what we do at the end of the day. No matter what we tell them, we can say, do better, don't be like me. We can try to put it however we want to put it. But I continue to say they're going to do what they see us do. So if they see you and Aunt Sarah Lee, or whatever her name may be, having a disagreement on social media, they're going to assume that's how problems are supposed to be handled. But if they always see you pick up the phone and call, or when you see them, call them to the side and have a reasonable conversation and talk it out and hug afterwards, or guys, dap each other up afterwards, it makes a world of difference. It's time we get back to that. Matter of fact, it's beyond time. I have people I haven't spoken to in years, or I've had people I haven't spoken to in years. I have guys who have had problems with me for no reason. I've even felt the animosity at times, and I knew what it was about. And I've taken the chance of going to that guy, and I'm like, look, man, what's good? And then when he told me, I was like, look, man, it's not what you think. I don't want you to have that built up animosity because it could lead to further problems, not just towards me, but towards others. And it can be passed down to those around you just because energy travels. It goes from person to person and you can pass it on. So if I'm around someone and I know there's animosity or there's something that could be fixed or should be fixed, I'm going to at least attempt to. I'm not going to play into it. I'm not going to say, well, he don't like me, I don't like him, or she don't like me, I don't like her, or she don't like my cousin, so I don't like her either. She didn't speak to my homie, so I'm not going to speak to her either. No, that's not how I move. That is not how a mature adult should move. Pick up the phone and call if you know a person. If you don't know a person, find someone who does. It's rare that you see a person on the regular and you don't at least know somebody that that person knows as well that you can get on the phone or, could find a way for the two of you to have a conversation. If they don't want to talk, cool, but at least give it a shot. That way you know you at least did your due diligence. Pick up the phone and call. I can't say it enough. Especially when you meet someone new and you're trying to get to know someone. If you meet a person and you're trying to, let's say, dating, for instance, then you realize if you pick up the phone and call someone, you will know just about everything you need to know about them with a 30-minute phone conversation. But if you text them for months, you still won't know anything about them. You just wasted months. And when you finally got around each other, you're like, nah, he ain't my type. Or no, she's not my type. When you would have known if you would have just picked up the phone and called and talked to each other for 30 minutes on the phone. Seriously. Texting and DMing is not to get to know a person. It is not for solving issues. It is for getting a quick message to someone when you don't have time to talk. That's why anyone that knows me know if I call you, if I call anyone and they don't answer or they ignore the call and they immediately text me and be like, what's up? I would do the same thing to the text that they did to the phone call. I just ignore it. Seriously, if you don't have time to talk, just say, I'll call you later. But if I call you to talk and then you immediately respond with a text with a whole conversation, like trying to communicate through a text message, I just either wait till you call back or I just wait until I see you. Pick up the phone and call. It should be simple and easy, but yet we've made it so difficult and so complicated today. Once again, this is the month where we acknowledge breast cancer. This is my first video of the month. Definitely won't be my last. And I appreciate y'all for showing support. I'll see y'all next time.